Hello friends, myself Nalinikanta Jana, HOD Physics, Bharuneswar Mahavidyalaya, Utkal University. Our today's topic is about ballistic galvanometer. Before going to the details of ballistic galvanometer, let us first know what is a galvanometer. As you know from your previous classes, like in your intermediate classes, you have known about galvanometer. So, galvanometer is an electromechanical instrument used for detecting and indicating electric current. Detecting and indicating electric current. A galvanometer is an electromechanical instrument used for detecting and indicating electric current passing through it. Okay? Actually, a galvanometer works as an actuator by producing a rotary deflection in response to an electric current passing through its coil. A galvanometer works as an actuator by producing a rotary deflection in response to an electric current, in response to an electric current passing through its coil. So, galvanometer acts as an actuator by producing a rotary deflection in response to an electric current passing through its coil. When a galvanometer is calibrated, it can be used as ammeter for measuring current, voltmeter for measuring potential difference, and also as an ammeter for measuring of resistance of a wire. So, now we can write where a galvanometer is calibrated, then it can be used as ammeter, voltmeter and ohmmeter. And there are various types of galvanometers. Actually, there are deadbeat galvanometer, ballistic galvanometer, tangent galvanometer, vibration galvanometer, thermo galvanometer, string galvanometer. there are so many types of galvanometers, but in our context we should discuss about deadbeat galvanometer and ballistic galvanometer with more emphasis on ballistic galvanometer. There are various types of galvanometers such as deadbeat galvanometer, ballistic galvanometer, tangent galvanometer, vibration galvanometer, string galvanometer, it is. There are so many galvanometers, but in our context we have to discuss with deadbeat and ballistic galvanometer. So, let us know the difference between a deadbeat galvanometer and a ballistic galvanometer. Let us discuss the difference between ballistic galvanometer and deadbeat galvanometer. In case of ballistic galvanometer, the coil continues oscillating even after the passage of current. But in case of deadbeat galvanometer, the pointer comes to rest immediately just after the passage of current. The ballistic galvanometer continues its oscillation only because of its greater moment of inertia of the coil. So, comparatively the moment of inertia of a deadbeat galvanometer is less, and similarly the electromagnetic damping produced in case of ballistic galvanometer is very less, whereas the damping produced in case of deadbeat galvanometer is very large, and the resistance of the circuit including that of the coil is very large in case of ballistic galvanometer, whereas in case of a deadbeat galvanometer it is very small, and the coil has a large number of turns wound on that frame, whereas the deadbeat galvanometer there are a very less number of turns wound on the frame. So, let us have a discussion about the ballistic galvanometer and the deadbeat galvanometer. So, the number one point, it is a special type of galvanometer which continues oscillating even after the passage of current. But in case of deadbeat galvanometer, it is a galvanometer whose pointer comes to rest just after the passage of current. And in case of ballistic galvanometer, the moment of inertia is more. Here the moment of inertia is more, but here the moment of inertia is less. And number 3 point, the coil is wound on a non-conducting frame in case of ballistic galvanometer, whereas the coil is wound on a conducting frame. Number 3, the coil is wound on a non-conducting frame. Here the coil is wound on a conducting frame. Here the non-conducting frame may be of bamboo or ivory, whereas in case of deadbeat galvanometer the conducting frame may be a soft iron, and here the electromagnetic damping is very small. Number 4, the electromagnetic damping is very small, but here the electromagnetic damping is very large, and the resistance of the circuit including that of the coil is very large in case of ballistic, whereas in case of deadbeat galvanometer the resistance is very less. So, in our 5th point we can write here, number 5th point here, the resistance including the coil, the resistance of the circuit including the coil is very large, but here the resistance of the circuit including the coil is very less. Okay? Then the coil has a very large number of turns, whereas in case of deadbeat galvanometer the coil has a very less number of turns. So, number 6 we can write, the coil has a large number of turns, whereas here the coil has less number of turns. So, it is all about the difference between a deadbeat galvanometer and a ballistic galvanometer, but our interest is to discuss in detail about a ballistic galvanometer and its theory, its charge sensitivity, its current sensitivity, etc. So, let us start with ballistic galvanometer. As already I have told, ballistic galvanometer is a special type of sensitive galvanometer for measuring the quantity of charge discharged through it. Ballistic galvanometer is a special type of sensitive galvanometer for measuring the quantity of charge discharged through it. A ballistic galvanometer is a sensitive special type of galvanometer used for measuring the electric charge discharged through it. In reality, a ballistic galvanometer is an integrator and it is also known as a mirror galvanometer. In reality, a ballistic galvanometer is an integrator and it is also known as a mirror galvanometer, as in its construction there is a mirror used. So, it is commonly known as a mirror galvanometer. It is commonly known as a mirror galvanometer. And also there are two types of ballistic galvanometers. One is the moving coil galvanometer and the second one is the moving magnet galvanometer. Number 4 we can write ballistic galvanometers are of two types, such as one is the moving coil galvanometer and the second one is the moving magnet galvanometer. So, let us know the construction of a moving coil galvanometer or a ballistic galvanometer. Let us discuss the construction of a ballistic galvanometer. As shown in the figure, here is the north pole of a strong magnet and it is the south pole of a strong magnet, and between these two pole pieces of a magnet there is a rectangular copper coil in which a current enters and leaves the current, and that frame of that coil is wound by a very fine phosphor bronze. Here M is a mirror and it is connected on the rotatory head. So, a galvanometer, ballistic galvanometer consists essentially a copper wire coil of large moment of inertia wound on a non-conducting frame. A ballistic galvanometer consists of a copper wire wound over a non-conducting frame, maybe bamboo or ivory, suspended by a fine wire of phosphor bronze between two magnetic pole pieces, and the charge enters at one end of the coil and leaves at the other ends, passing through the suspension coil. The charge enters at one end of the coil and leaves at the other end after passing through the suspended coil. Here a concave mirror, this M is a concave mirror, is rigidly attached to the phosphor bond strip to record the deflection. A concave mirror is attached to the phosphor bronze wire to produce deflection by reflection of light from the lamp and scale arrangement. A concave mirror is attached to the phosphor bronze wire to produce deflection by reflection of light from the lamp and scale arrangement. Since the suspension wire, that is the phosphor bronze, has a small torsional couple, hence it can further be reduced to detect the current through the coil, and due to it the whole transient current passes through the coil before it comes to rest. Further, since the coil is wound on a non-metallic frame, its electromagnetic damping is very less. So, it is about our construction of moving coil galvanometer, that means a ballistic galvanometer. And after that we will discuss about the theory of ballistic galvanometer, which includes the torque acting on a current carrying loop in a magnetic field. So, many thanks.